Welcome to part 3 of Viscera cleanup detail, where we're gonna use the Kismet tool right up here, and we're gonna use it to make our incinerator start burning things out. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna start on a blank map, and at the same time we're gonna demonstrate how easy it is and how efficient it is to copy over the content from one map to another. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna select everything. Every single floor, every single wall, and every single object. Just like this, here, here. Ah. And we're gonna open the new map, and it's gonna be a blank one. Just like you're supposed to when you're building a new object. Okay. I'm gonna hit Control C. And we can add play start as well. Control C. And I'm gonna go to new level and blank. So it asks me if I wanna save it. I don't wanna save it. Here we go. I can just hit Control V, and here we have it. Now I left one section of the wall, so I'm gonna quickly correct this. I'm gonna right click on rotation 90, and it's not correct, so let's try at 180, and that's neither works, so let's try 270, and no, doesn't let us. We can always do the old-fashioned way, with just simply rotating it and then adjusting correctly. Here we go. So now that we've done that, we have our incinerator here, and we're gonna have to make it work. So what we have to do is, first we're gonna save this map. Now the save directory for our map will be under UDK content mods. So that will be the full directory would be Steam apps, common, Viscera, and then it's UDK, content, and mods. I'm just gonna name it. The way I name it is I use my username, underline VC for Viscera, and let's do a tutorial. Save it. And now we have to do a few things outside of the editor. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna have to find the official map. Why? Because we need to copy the certain things that they did on Incinerator, which is the trigger volume. What do we do is we find our directory, which is local disk program files, Steam apps, common, Viscera, UDK game, and now is it perhaps the content? Is it among maps? No. Engine, content, maps. These are templates. Where are you? Rust UDK. Configuration? No. Content, Viscera, and maps. So UDK, content, Viscera, and maps. I always have a difficulty trying to find this directory. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna copy Caduceus. Why we are copying, why we're not just using it, because we don't wanna change the official level and screw up the game. We just wanna experiment on this map on our own. So what you have to do, make a new map, make your name Viscera, Viscera mapping, Viscera, whatever you like to do, the folder where you're gonna work with, and I have it selected over here, already made. I called it Viscera mapping, and just paste it in. Here we go. So now that we have this directory, remember the directory, we can bring up the UDK again, we can open it, and then navigate through it. I have it on desktop, Viscera, Caduceus, open. Now this is the great way to learn from the examples. You can study this map all you want, you can see how the developers did it. It's incredibly useful thing to do. Alright, now let's head back to Incinerator room, and notice we'll have to copy the trigger, which is the green lines inside of it, and the light. So I'm going to select the trigger, which works, it looks like this, and let's select the lights as well. I'm gonna hit Control C, and we're gonna open our own map again. Our own map, it's located in local disk, program files, Steam apps, common, Viscera, UDK game, content, mods, and here it is, Inex underline VC tutorial. We're gonna open it, gonna close the errors, and let's let's paste the Control V. So where did it go? Well, copy a little bit away from it, no worries. Here we go. It's lower than the level, so let's drag it a bit higher, and here we have it. So apparently we haven't copied our light before, so it's completely dark. So what we can do, I can do is just add another light. So add actor, add light. Here you go, now we can see a little better. Don't we? Alright, now select again the Incinerator light and the trigger, and now let's align it exactly with the Incinerator. So this trigger denotes the area where when you place something in this trigger, it's gonna trigger the animation of burn off. It's gonna toggle the sound on, and after a while it's gonna burn and disappear. Alright, make it a little bit lower. See, I'm making use of different perspective here. Very handy. And I can use the perspective to see in 3D. Verify if it's okay. Okay, I notice it's a little bit off here. So I can align it perfectly, just like here. Alright, so that's good. Now we're gonna jump in script tool. Don't be afraid, it's very visualized. So let's first select the trigger, and now let's click on Kismet tool. Unreal Kismet is next to a content browser. When you click on it, it's gonna display the empty blank window. So first of all, right here on the empty screen, we're gonna right click it. We're gonna go new event using trigger volume 2, and then go touch. So that opens this window. So this is the trigger. What we selected is what we see here. Now we have to make the Incinerator. So we're gonna select the Incinerator on a map, and then we're gonna right click it right here, and let's see, new action, Viscera, and we are looking for Incinerator. Here we go. So now let's return back to trigger volume. And to be safe, let's again select the trigger. And there's a couple of things that we need to do in our properties. So we need to do touch types first. Select the class proximity times, and we're gonna select from pawn to bottom. See, it's a whole lot of VCD options, and what we need is VC debris. So it's a little bit higher up. VC debris selected. Alright, touch types is done. Now sequence event touch we don't need, but we do need sequence event. So max trigger count we're gonna decrease to 0. Trigger reset we're gonna select to 0. Enabled, and we're gonna uncheck player only. So now that's done, we can move to actually connecting those two things together. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with the magenta little square under Incinerator where I'm holding my mouse. This is the very first thing we're gonna need. Let's try it out. Alright, so I'm gonna select Incinerator and right click on this magenta. So what it's gonna use, new object variable using Viscera. Perfect. Now I can move and drag out this object here with holding control, and I can drag it all I want. For good looks, I'm gonna place it like here. Now we're gonna deselect, and we're gonna make create new object variable. It's gonna show up the 3 question marks. We're gonna drag it out just under the Incinerator variable. So now we're just gonna connect dots together. So we're gonna make instigator, go to a new variable, and we're gonna go touched to add actor, and we're gonna go to untouched to remove actor. So that's really this. That's done. We can close it, and now let's rebuild, because we placed a new light, so we need to rebuild everything. Right, completed. Close the errors, and let's play in editor. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place the bucket down in Incinerator and see if it burns. If it's gonna stick the particles to the bucket, that's gonna just tell me that it works. Oops. So notice how it burned the bucket away. So that's really shows you that it works. But even if you see the particles sticking to whatever you put it there for a moment and then put it out, it's gonna show the particles that goes with it and a little whoosh sound, like a signifying that it started to burn. So using this Kismet tool, using this Kismet tool, we told the Incinerator that when we put something burnable in it, it's gonna burn it off and destroy it. And that's in a nutshell object Kismet, Kismet Unreal Kismet tool, the scripting tool. So in the next tutorial, we're gonna cover how to make this entire map display in your game. So see you there.